Hi, welcome to the Simple Logistics channel. Today we are going to discuss how governments should approach the economic recovery after the 2020 pandemic and the whole COVID-19 affair that affected supply chains, affect the economy, affect logistics, created a lot of unemployment in several countries. Overall, the effects on the economy were substantial, and it will require government action to leave the situation that we are today. What are my 2 cents on the subject? First, I think governments everywhere should focus on investing in infrastructure. And why is that? Infrastructure requires or creates lots of jobs, and that's what's most urgently needed in most places, in most countries that I know. I think investment in infrastructure is the thing that can generate jobs faster, and that will start economic recovery everywhere because people then have purchasing power and they start consuming other goods, and the whole economic situation starts going back to some sort of normal. And what are the best investments in infrastructure? So I'm going to be a little egoistic here, and I'm going to say that logistics infrastructure is the one that gives governments the biggest bang for the buck. And rather than building walls, governments should start building bridges, especially rail. As I mentioned, rail may be the transport of the future. It was the transport of the past, and it may well be the transport of the future. So, especially if countries invest in electric rail, like the one behind me, it's pretty common in Europe, high-speed electric trains. For cargo, you don't need high-speed trains, but it's best if those rails are electrified. Then you have, other than the job creation that these construction will generate, it will last longer, it will be more environmental friendly, and checks all the right boxes. So it's fast, it's safe, it doesn't pollute, it replaces other models like road transportation that have higher accident rates, that generates a lot of pollution, traffic and congestion. So rail checks all the right boxes. And to my knowledge, I don't live in US, but to my knowledge, Biden has kind of agreed with some version of the Green New Deal. And the Green New Deal calls for a lot more of rail transportation. So, especially in the US, we should see a lot of investment in rail in the next few years. And this is the correct thing to do, in my opinion. Of course, if governments feel they need more hospitals or schools, they should, of course, do that. It's even more important than logistics infrastructure. But logistics infrastructure can really kickstart the global economy again. First, if you have a lot of logistics infrastructure in place, like rail, ports, airports, these will facilitate trade, reduce the cost of transporting goods everywhere, and this creates jobs for the construction of and the operation maintenance of these infrastructure. These things have the power to create momentum for the economy. So the global economy can start growing again. And it's really easy for governments to justify spending that money in infrastructure now if they don't use this opportunity, because we are at crossroads in regards to transportation technology with electrification. Right here, it's happening. We have the pandemic, which we have vaccines just around the corner. So we are probably coming out on the other side of the pandemic to start an economic recovery. So governments have all the justification they need, the effects of the pandemic, and the technology changes, and global agreements such as the Paris Climate Agreement. So you have all the reasons you need to justify this investment right now, and these can really pay back. These are investments that pay back. When you build a wall or build some military facility that can create some security improvement, which is really hard to measure, but it doesn't create wealth, it doesn't create a lot of economic gains for the society as a whole. If you build the infrastructures, the logistics infrastructures that I mentioned, this can create more wealth, this creates more jobs, this creates a good driver for the economy. You're pushing the economy in the right direction, and if you do that enough investment, you kind of create a moment forward. This momentum will guarantee that the economy keeps growing even after these investments were made. It's all about creating momentum for the economy that we really all need right now. I know that lots of heads of states or decision makers or Congress people will not see this channel. I hope somehow people start creating some kind of a grassroots movement, pushing forward these changes at their local governments, creating some noise that draws the attention of national governments to make these investments. So if we, as common people or common citizens, we start talking and pushing and subscribing to these changes, eventually governments will hear our voice, and they will start doing the right thing. So I really encourage everyone to get involved. Probably there are movements within your area where you live that you can support, that you can subscribe. These changes are more acknowledged, or they become more mainstream, and then politicians will probably start pushing for this agenda too. Okay? Thank you for coming back to our channel. Please like, subscribe, and come back here for more videos like this. Okay? Thank you very much. Bye.